Oh, hey. I was sitting around waiting to start our broadcast, and my face was getting tired from smiling at the camera.
Such a nice guy. Comes on just automatic.
So, welcome to another bonus episode.
Mm-hmm.
We have our friend Mike Zlotnik on. He has a couple of funds that I wanted to let you guys know about because they're just open and they're limited time, and I wanted to give you guys some information right away.
And Mike is the man.
Yes, he is. So more on these funds and our conversation with Mike right after this.
He looks confused.
Well, I'm confused. I look like him too, except for I have hair.
That's true.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Real Estate Investor Show. Hard money for real estate investors. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are lenders in the Southeast for real estate investors. If you're interested in borrowing money, go to carolinahardmoney.com and click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. Don't forget to sign up with Wednesdays with Wendy. And as you know, Wendy donates 30 minutes per person on Wednesday. Well, I would say afternoons, but
it's the mornings.
Mid-mornings.
Actually. Yeah.
Up until afternoon. Get on her calendar. She's usually booked a couple of months in advance. There's the link. It's also in the chat to the side or underneath, depending on your platform. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask while we're on. How was that?
That was very good. That was very
Not
good.
bad for not getting home until after 1 o'clock in the morning.
Poor guy. Took one for the team, had to go out to Utah and enjoy a few days.
I had like 5 meals yesterday.
Yeah.
They kept feeding me.
He doesn't know how to say no.
I'm one of these people. If somebody's handing me free food, I'm going to eat it.
That's right. You'll put it in your pocket.
Even if I'm on a diet. Anyway, we have the pleasure of being joined by our friend Big Mike. He is, and I told you this before, he's been on our shows before as well. We've been on his show. He is really a mathematician that has gotten into the real estate business. So he's got a lot of insight, and thanks to all of our mastermind groups and knowing folks in the business, he's got a lot of good connections with some really good sponsors.
Plus, he's got a really big heart.
Yes, he does. So, Mike, come on over here. Get out of that green room. Right
Hi,
now,
Wendy. Hi, Bill. Wendy, I like your introduction a whole lot better. Thank you.
And it was simple.
Well, you know me, I have to take a long-winded approach to everything. Right?
That's right. You're in Colorado right now?
Yeah, hanging out in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Nice.
One of my girls is her team qualified. She's on synchronized ice skating team, and they qualified for nationals.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Is
As
she
a parent,
excited?
there's nothing better than you seeing your kids do well, succeed, have a passion to a great sport. So, and it's really cool. Synchronized ice skating should become the next Olympic sport, the next Winter Olympics. So it's a lot of fun.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. I'd love the synchronized swimming. I think the ice skating would be awesome.
With all due respect to synchronized swimming, I think synchronized ice skating looks a whole lot cooler.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's true.
How old is she?
She's 12.
That's just incredible. I know you're proud, and you're a good daddy to be driving her all over the country.
Thank you. Or flying. It won't drive here.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be driving to Colorado Springs from New York.
That'd
be
awesome.
Something else.
That's awesome.
This is bonus coverage. We're squeezing Mike in between some other appointments that we have. I don't want to waste too much of his time.
Yeah,
He's
we
got
want
some.
to talk about your fund.
He's got a couple of syndications that I wanted everybody to at least get some info on, because, like I said, they're limited in time. So I want to give folks an opportunity to find out about it. I'm going to kind of turn it over to you, Mike. What do you got?
Thank you again for having me. We have 3 deals, essentially brand new. One is a Tempo Growth Fund II. So that fund is a continuation to our Tempo Growth Fund. So Tempo Growth Fund closed. We launched Tempo Growth Fund II. It's a great growth-focused fund with awesome tax benefits, and we've created a couple of classes of units. One class awesome for IRAs, and the other class is awesome for cash investors, as they get great depreciation benefits as well as the growth. But that fund is open for a couple of years, and we'll talk about it again next time. But I'll also mention that we have 2 new deals. They are one-off syndications, and the time is very short. So if folks are watching and they have interest, reach out. This is purely for informational, educational purposes only, not soliciting anything at all, nor giving any kind of advice. Request the PPM and consult with your CPA and attorney. But the 2 deals that are coming up, one is called Spanish Cove. We're selling essentially debt units. And this investment will generate folks 12% current yield. And there's an upside to get to 14-15% total return. Again, this deal is coming up shortly. PPM should be ready later this week. And again, just to be very clear, this offering will be available only to existing investors. So if you don't know us, you can't reach out purely on this deal. We're going to have this offering as a 506B, prior existing relationship. I'm just mentioning this for the reason that if you don't have a relationship with us, we won't be able to offer this to you until you establish prior existing relationship. Right. The other deal that's coming up is a 506C deal. It's a great syndication, phenomenal value-add multifamily project called Lake Castleton Apartments, and that's in Indianapolis. And that is that deal will have phenomenal tax benefits. It's probably already at this point close to full. But folks who invest in this deal get first-year bonus depreciation of 2.5 times what they write the check for. So for every dollar they invest, they're going to get about $2.5 worth of first-year bonus depreciation. And the deal is with phenomenal operator. We've done multiple deals. He's a specialist. It's in, as I said, in Indy, and it has target returns in the high teens. And we're very passionate about the deal because of many characteristics, from phenomenal upside to the great tax benefits to the great operator. And that deal was really hard to secure. And so that's kind of what's coming up in our ecosystem.
So is that a value add apartment, the Lake Castleton? Is it value add? Then the intention is to what, refinance it or sell it? What are they thinking?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a traditional value add. And as I said, it's an investment with the same operator. We have multiple deals. He's got a super strong footprint in Indy, dedicated warehouse, dedicated folks that do construction. And he's a large operator. I think about $2 billion assets under management in his ecosystem.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a value add deal. Typically, these type of deals, year 1 and 2, you heavily renovate apartments into year 3 as well. And then you refinance the deal towards the end of year 3 and return substantial amount of capital. Sometimes you can return all the capital and even a portion of tax-free profits.
Nice.
So I'm not a CPA, and I don't pretend to be one on TV either. But if you're getting depreciation to take advantage of it, you need to have some sort of passive income as well already. Is that correct? Because it has to be, it's a passive write-off, but you have to have passive income in order to do it. Or can you do all of that within the one investment?
So, Bill, that's a great question. Absolutely the same answer. Not CPA, don't play one on TV. But you can, as far as I know, use passive losses coming from depreciation. Depreciation is effectively a form of passive loss. It just
Sure.
passes through. So you could use it to offset passive gains. And typically there are two primary forms of passive gains. One is rental income. So you can actually own rental properties. You can rental, it could be commercial, single family, multifamily, anything, any passive rental income. Any rental income is a form essentially of a passive income typically. And then you have capital gains is also a form of a passive gain. So if you sell an appreciated property, you typically would generate capital gains, but they are passive gains, and you can use passive losses to offset passive gains.
So if you have a gain inside of this investment, you can essentially use that those losses to offset the investment.
You could do more than this investment. You can offset gains from another investment with losses from this one, as long as they're both passive.
Sure. Awesome.
So it's kind of it's a very powerful concept because, and by the way, our Tempo Growth Fund II, which I mentioned just a couple of minutes earlier, the Class B units generate very similar outside depreciation. For every dollar invested, it's probably going to be $2 to $2.50 worth of depreciation in the first year. And the way these things work is these projects like Lake Castleton and similar, they run a cost segregation study, and they create essentially about 30% of the project total purchase gets depreciated in the first year through bonus depreciation. That's the kind of rule of thumb. It depends. You have to study how many windows and doors and doorknobs and refrigerators you have. All the schedules that you can do 5, 7, 15 a year could be depreciated in 1 year through bonus depreciation. Still good this year. Next year it phases out to 80% of what it is today. So that's what happens, and it's pretty powerful. The only other alternative for folks who could use it against their current income as real estate professionals. It's a complex subject, but if you're a real estate professional and you spend at least 500 hours in rental activities and you do grouping election on your tax return, you can actually use the passive losses coming from depreciation to offset any other kind of income if you are a real estate professional and you make that election.
Yeah, so folks that aren't familiar with depreciation, it's typically taken over a 20, 25-year period, right? But with the cost segregation, you're able to speed that up and do it within the first year or first 2 years.
That's right. So conceptually, it depends on type of property. Residential depreciated over 27.5, commercial over 39. We're talking about commercial property. You have that building, the bricks, the foundation that depreciated over long term. That's the 39-year schedule. Okay. But if you're talking about essentially stuff that's not going to last that long, and that's what the cost segregation study does. It looks at the windows. Are they going to last 39 years? No way. So it's a 15-year product. So it's depreciated over a shorter period of time. So typically all your appliances, kitchen cabinets, now even some stuff like flooring, it depends on whether it's considered to be part of the building. But a lot of doors, doorknobs, windows, anything you could think about other than essentially stuff that lives those many years can be depreciated over 5, 7, and 10 years. But the bonus depreciation actually allows all of it to be taken in a single year, not even 2 years, single year. That's the current law. And next year you'll only be able to do 80%, and then the following year it'll be 60%. It basically is phasing out unless the Congress renews it.
So was that part of the new tax structure that we had during the Trump administration? Yeah,
it was passed 2017 off the top of my head, and it was, I forgot the name of the tax cut, but it was under Trump, exactly.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, anything that's going to have high traffic can be depreciated quickly because it's going to wear out the quickest. Is kind of how that works.
That's right, and we literally engineered the fund, Tempo Growth Fund II, to provide massive tax benefits for those who need it, and then we created what we call them common units, and then the preferred equity units don't get any because they're safer and they have a senior position. but they don't take the same level of risk. So it's perfect for IRAs. What's really interesting for folks, the IRA investors could benefit from the fund investment too, but they have zero use for depreciation. That's why when we engineered the fund, we engineered it into essentially preferred equity units and common equity units, and gave all the depreciation, all the tax benefits to the common, while preferred equity units have a higher pref and a higher level of safety. So it works both ways. Both parties get more of the benefits that they want, rather than give everybody a little bit of each benefit. And IRA people can't use the depreciation, while the non-IRA people want more of it.
That's awesome. Was really smart to do that. Do you have a minimum investment number on that?
Yes. So for Tempo Growth Fund, Tempo Growth Fund II, the minimum investment is $100,000. We've come up with different tiers. So folks who invest $100K get into tier 3. For folks who invest $500,000 get into tier 2, and folks who invest $1 million get into tier 1. And we also have a unique feature where we call it relationship balance. So for those folks who invest with us into multiple funds, they get essential relationship balance. So you could have $100K in this fund, $200K in the next, in the say Tempo Opportunity Fund, and $200 in Tempo Income. Combined balances $500. So we'll give you the relationship balance for all the funds. You'll be in the higher class of those units.
Nice.
Yeah. So it basically rewards folks who are loyal to us and write checks into multiple of our funds. So we do that. You don't have to do that, but it's obviously something that's an added benefit. And then for the one-off deals, the minimum for Spanish Cove, it's $50,000, and for Lake Castleton, it's $100,000. Once again, if attorneys are listening or anyone is listening, full disclosure, I'm going to take a step back. Spanish Cove is available as a 506B offering to existing accredited investors and some non-accredited, but you have to have a prior existing relationship with us. So I'm going to stop talking about that deal, because I don't think I can really to folks who don't know us. But the Lake Castleton will be 506C, accredited investors only, and folks have to prove that they give a CPA letter or attorney letter that they are an accredited investor.
And for future funds that you have in store, now would be a great time to get to know you and get a relationship going, right?
Thank you, Wendy. That's very sweet. You're so sweet.
Yeah, unlike your brother over here.
Yes, your brother is not sweet, and as sweet as you are, for sure.
But he's a fair man.
He's a fair man. That's right. That is the truth. Yeah, appreciate.
Go ahead.
Sorry. We do put up good amount of really cool educational content. It's different from you guys. You guys do an awesome job. I think you do a better job than I do, but we do put out a little bit of that education. And I do run a podcast called Big Mike Fun Podcast. From time to time, it's actually exciting. Being a mathematician, I'm really very boring person.
Stop it.
But from time to time, I get a good guest. They'll crack a good joke on a podcast. But we talk about real estate in general.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate enough to be a guest on your podcast. Love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you do a good job.
You guys need to check it out. There it is, Big Mike Fun Podcast.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Billy. I always love to have you. You are one of these people who actually make it exciting. So very boring subjects turn into an adventure and a journey. So thank you, Billy.
That's awesome. And then the best way for people to get in touch with you about this opportunity is through this email here, invest@tempofunding.com.
That's right. So that's the right email. It goes out. Our head of investor relations, Alina. You obviously guys know her. She's awesome. Yeah, she'll reach out. She'll get back to you. I'm available too, but she'll be the first person to chat to.
That's awesome. Hey, good luck on the ice today.
And I was going to say he's not available right now because he's ice skating.
He's being daddy, which is awesome.
So, I have a really good joke on the subject, so let the audience enjoy it once again. Obviously, people ask, my kids ice skate, and people ask, do I ice skate? Does Big Mike ice skate? And the answer is yes, I do ice skate. When
Do
I come
you?
out on ice, this is what it looks like. Have you ever been to a circus? Well, in the past. Have you ever seen bears on ice? This is me skating.
That's
Very,
good.
very coordinated. It sounds like.
I just don't want to get stuck in front of you if you're coming at me.
Yeah, I'm a big guy. If I'm going a little fast, watch out, because the big bike can create a little bit of a problem there.
So you're not saying that you might cause a crack in the ice if you fall down, are you?
The fortunate thing, this is not ice skating on a lake. The crack on the ice, it would be about 1 foot deep of the ice, so I wouldn't fall into the lake.
Mike,
That's a good thing. Thank you so much.
It's great to see you. I'll see you in a few more days as well when we go to Collective Genius. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer where we're going than where you are now.
You know what's really remarkable? It's really warm here. It was like 70 degrees. It was like 60.
I bet.
It's crazy in Colorado. I've never seen this, never heard of this. It's normally snowing and cold, and it's only very early March, but the remarkably warm days. Very, very strange.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've got a little over 80 degrees going on
it's supposed
today.
to get up to 83 here.
So we're excited about
today.
that.
So
yeah.
It's really weird because I just came from Utah and it was not 83.
It might have been 38.
Yeah. Mike, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Folks, let's put up that email again, invest@tempofunding.com. It's over also in the chat side, so you can click it on and get right there.
There we go.
Talk about the different funds, except for the one that is Spanish Cove, if you don't already have a relationship. But he can certainly take you on to the other ones. And then when some other B's come up, you'll already have the relationship.
That's right. You'll
right?
be good to go.
Thank you,
so
Wendy.
much,
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate you guys. And as always, Wendy, you're the sweet one. Billy, you're the fair one. The fair one.
Have a great day, and we'll see you. And like I said, in a couple of days, folks. There you go. Bonus live coverage from the Real Estate Investor Show. Hard money for real estate investors. We are Carolina Capital Management, and we are lenders in the Southeast for real estate investors. If you are interested in borrowing money, go to carolinahardmoney.com and click on the Apply Now tab. By the way, we have long-term financing as well. If you're a passive investor interested in passive returns, click the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Sign up with Wednesdays with Wendy. See you guys.
Bye.